Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Tips video breakdown, want to take a look at how to defend the Strong Eye Pro play action draw pass. Let's go ahead and take a look at the play diagram here, as you can see on your screen right there. And what makes this play pretty successful, especially against cover 3 and cover 4 coverages, is that deep post route that's being ran by the receiver on the left. In this case, it's going to be the split end. He's the receiver that's real effective. And let's go ahead and get onto the field, and I'll talk about it here in just a second. So what I want to show you is where you'll find this particular playbook, or at least this particular play. You're going to find it out of the run-heavy formation. I've seen a couple of videos already posted on YouTube. I've seen one posted back in Madden 19, Madden 20, and 21. So this play obviously is pretty effective because it's been working for the last few years, and there's been a couple different videos broken down about it. And what they show you is how the play runs and how effective it is against cover 3 and cover 4. They do briefly mention that if there's pressure on the quarterback, it takes it away, which is true. But what they fail to tell you is how you can defend it without having to worry about getting pressure on the quarterback. So that's what I want to show you with this breakdown. So let's go ahead and get into it. And on the defensive side of the ball, we're just going to come out of the Patriots playbook. I'm going to go ahead and use cover 4 quarters. That's what it works real well against, and that's what I want to show you in the breakdown. And as far as on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to find it out of the Strong Eye, which I've already mentioned. Again, it's out of the run-heavy playbook. And then you're just going to go ahead and look for it down here as you come to your screen. Again, it's called the play action draw pass, which is right here. One of the things I do want to point out, the concept that it tells you is called slot cross. Really what this concept is the Portland concept. The Portland concept features a receiver on one side running a deep post route and another receiver on the other side running a deep in route, and that's what this has. So just keep that in mind. It's actually the Portland passing concept. So let's go ahead and actually call the play. Actually kind of just messed up on the on what I wanted to do here. Let's go back out here just for a second. And I'll show you guys again because I actually called the wrong play there when I did that as far as hitting the buttons. So you're going to go ahead again and call the we're going to go ahead and call cover 4 quarters. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to go ahead, let's go back into it again here and find that play action draw pass. So there it is right there. All right, so let's go ahead and run the play. I'm not going to do a whole lot here as far as pointing out too much to you guys as I showed, but right there you can see it's cover 4 coverage as you see on your screen. And then as you look here, I want to go ahead and point out a couple routes here that I've kind of already briefly talked about. This post route and then this route right here. And we're going to go ahead and run the play. And I want to show you why it's so effective against cover 4. So let's go ahead and switch to another defender. Get on one of these defensive linemen for right now. And then as you watch, you're going to see that this guy's going to be open where I make that deep passing play. Now that could have been even more successful had I not got hit right at the last second. Let's go ahead and run it one more time here. But you can see that it's pretty effective. It's a pretty effective play against cover 4 coverage. And then we're just going to go ahead and make the catch and then hop into the end zone. So at any rate, you can see this play is pretty darn effective. Let's go look at an instant replay and take a look at it. As I mentioned, there's a couple other videos out there already. If you want to do a search on them and watch them, actually I'll post a couple links so you guys can watch their videos and see how they work. As far as with this particular play and kind of go through it and kind of, judge it and see what you guys think about it. But at any rate, as I mentioned earlier, we talked about this guy running that deep end route. This particular route's kind of key because this route right here, what this route does is this defender right here is supposed to be playing this deep 1/4 over here. What he's going to do is he's going to come to the inside here and try to defend it. So he's going to go up the field and then he's going to break to the inside. Now, one would think that he should, by design of the play, he should drop back here. He doesn't drop back there. Also, this particular safety right here, the strong safety, this is another example. You would think that he would at least drop back into this area here. But as that receiver comes across, he actually slides in a little bit to the inside. So those two defenders to the right side of the field that are supposed to be playing the deep 1/4 don't do what the play is showing as far as on the defensive side of the ball, as far as their defensive assignments are concerned. So let's go ahead and run this on instant replay, and then we'll kind of stop it for a second. So right there, as we go ahead and zoom in on your screen right there, this is exactly what I was talking about. You can see that this defender comes to the inside. That's the corner. Here's the safety coming up to defend that in route. Now, everything at this point over here, as you look at it, let's go ahead and zoom in again. At this point, everything doesn't look too bad. I mean, we got some nice coverage, it looks like, at this point. You've got this guy right here defending this fairly well. He's covering that receiver pretty good, who's running that post route. But let's watch as the play develops. And there's the problem right there. He gets that, and he gets to the cross, and he's open. And unfortunately, this is going to happen far too often when we're in cover 4 coverage. I don't care if it's palms or it's cover 4 quarters or whatever. The guy's going to get open. And as long as he's got time to make the throw, and that's what you're seeing here. As long as the quarterback has enough time to make the throw, then he's going to be open. So how do we defend that? Let me go ahead and show you guys how to defend it. It's real simple. All you got to do is basically, when you see him come out in this formation, you want to go ahead and put this defender, the one that I'm in control of right now, just quickly take control of him and put him in the deep half. That's all you got to do. If you put him in the deep halves, he'll take this away. Matter of fact, as long as you've got, like, for example, say you come out and cover 2 man, cover 2 zone, as long as you've got a defender on that opposite side where that receiver's running that post route, they should be in position to defend us a little bit better than what we just saw earlier. They're right there. We didn't have time to make the throw, and that's what I was talking about earlier. As long as the quarterback doesn't have enough time to throw, it doesn't matter. So if you could blitz them, or you can get edge pressure, maybe you've got a defender who's got a special rating, or you got a bull rush type defender, then it isn't going to matter anyways. But that's something you want to consider anyways with it. So let's go ahead and run this as we're running. As you look at your screen, again, not enough time to make that throw. And like I said, that's the downside of it as far as trying to, because this does take some time. It takes about 4 seconds for this play to work. Let's go ahead and do this just to make sure I can show you guys what happens here so we don't keep getting sacked. So I've just got some guys dropping back right there. So let's go ahead and run it this time so we won't get sacked here. But remember, I got that one guy in the deep half, and now he's in position to defend that, and he picks it off. So if you're having a problem, you can't get a pass rush on a quarterback, make sure you get over here and put this guy in the deep half. That's the main thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and put him in the deep half, as you can see on your screen. Something else you want to get a little bit overkill right here is you could put the safety as well. So if you want to put this safety in deep half as well, you could. You can see on your screen he's now in deep half. Let's go and do the same thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and hot route one of these guys on a drop out. Hopefully I'll have enough time to make the throw here. And again, now I got 2 guys in position to defend that. So that totally takes that away. And another pick right there. So as long as you got a defender in the deep halves, it should take that away. Let's go ahead and go into another defense here. Let's go into, say, cover 2 man. Cover 2 man does a pretty good job at defending it because you're in man coverage and you still have the 2 safeties playing the deep halves. So as we run this, watch what happens here. Same thing is going to happen that I've showed you guys. You're going to have that guy in position again to defend that. So as long as you got a guy dropping back in the deep halves, it should take it away. Let's do one last thing. Let's go into, on the defensive side of the ball, let's go into Tampa 2. You can see on your screen right there. We got another guy dropping back in the deep halves. And that's going to be a little, didn't quite get there in that case, but a lot of times they should. If they don't, cover 2, I would at least cover 2 zones, probably not, like Tampa 2, probably not going to be quite as good as cover 2 man, obviously. Let's go ahead and run it again. But at least he's in the deep half areas. It gives you a fighting chance to get in position to defend that. Right there, obviously, got over the top on that one. So I would say what we're based on what I just showed you as far as what we're doing with this film study here is that you definitely can get it where if you come out in cover 4, you put this guy over here in the deep half, at least that guy. That's the one guy you got to put in there. Let's go ahead and put a guy in zone coverage so I got enough time to make the throw here. And then as long as you do that, you should have enough time. You should be able to go ahead and defend this where this won't be open as much. And something else I wanted to point out too, because this particular route requires time and it's a deep route, if they're inside your 30-yard line, let's do this. Let's move. Let's respot the ball here. And let's go ahead and respot. I want to show you something else. And we'll run this again. Say they're inside your 30. So they run this play from, the 25 or 26-yard line, whatever, 27. Watch what happens here. So now we're going to come out and cover 4. There's not as much room to make that throw. I know you got it over there, but I would say anything inside the 20, maybe inside the 25 it's going to be a little bit difficult, more difficult to pull this off, and maybe you don't have to hot route a defender to take that away. Right there, it not even open there. I'm not sure exactly what happened on that, but he's not even open. So what I would suggest is, if they're inside that 25-yard line and you're running cover 4, you may not have to make those adjustments that I just showed you. Again, he's not open enough where he can make that throw in there. He actually got hit. And that's the other downside of this. So if he gets hit or you get pressure on the quarterback, this play is nullified anyways if you're in cover 4. So keep that in mind. So that's really about it. The only other thing I did want to point out, I'm not going to say this is guaranteed, but I would say this. Let's find another defense we can run this from. With this particular play, I just don't call it a money play. I call it a very effective play against the coverage, such as cover 4 and a couple other plays like that. That's kind of where I've gotten with this one from my opinion on it. Let's go ahead and run this cover 4 palms, and let's go ahead and respot the ball. I want to show you one last thing that I suggest doing. Let's move it back. Like I said, anything inside the 25, you probably don't have to make these adjustments, but if it's outside the 25-yard line of your 25-yard line, or closing in, or 25 yards out from your end zone, then you may want to go ahead and do this. One other thing I suggest doing is go ahead and put the defenders on the outside in QB contained, such as what you see there. And then if you can, go ahead and make sure you get this defender over here, the one I just talked about earlier. Go ahead and put him in the deep half right there. All right, so that's the play right there as far as the defense. And the reason I tell you this, if your opponent tries to go ahead and roll his quarterback out to the right to try to get a little bit closer when he makes the throw, then if you got a defender in QB contain, he should be in decent position to go ahead and defend that. So that's why I suggest putting those into QB contain, and then definitely hot routing this guy. The minimum, hot route this guy into the deep half. Make sure you put him in the deep half as you look at your screen there. So let's go ahead and run it one last time, and then that'll be about it as far as wrapping this up, guys. I'm not going to get too much more on this. I probably beat this more than I had to. Again, with the QB contain, they can't roll out. They have to stay in the pocket. So that's the other thing I would recommend to counter this. So hopefully this will give you guys a kind of an in-depth breakdown about the Strong Eye Pro play action draw pass. I already showed you guys why it's effective. Like I said in the links below, I'll show you. I'll link it up to. Well, I probably can't. I guess I can go and do it. I'll go ahead and link it up to a couple of the videos that are being shown here on the YouTube channel, so you guys can see them, and you guys can see how the play is effective as far as what it's been like in Madden 19, in this year's game as well. And plus, I just showed you guys in my video breakdown on why it's effective as far as attacking cover 4 coverage and cover 3. But hopefully you guys can kind of go back and look at those videos as well and give those guys credit for doing the breakdowns on this. But anyways, guys, hope this video breakdown gives you an idea how to counter it. Hey Madden Gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.